The shift of the global economy from the developed world to the developing world is a trend that's not reversible. It may have slowed, but it's not reversible.
According to your survey, what are the biggest areas of concern as far as Europe is concerned? The lack of political buy-in as far as economic solutions go, or the fact that there are deflationary trends? What is worrying CEOs most in Europe?
Well, I think there's a lack of alignment around the economic and monetary policies that really need to be implemented within that part of the world. And so, until you can get that kind of economic alignment, the CEOs are essentially saying they're looking at, an environment that is essentially, flat to potentially 1% growth for the near term. So it's going to be very interesting to see, how Draghi's proposals not only are received, but whether or not there's an appetite to move in a direction that is very different than many of the countries in Europe, have wanted to go in the past.
BRICS as a single entity of economic growth or economic model is not really what has survived, and is perhaps it's time, you haven't said it, but others around the world have, it's time to drop the B and the R from the BRICS because it's really India and China.
Whenever an economy is going through massive changes and reforms, which is what we all know about in China, that creates uncertainty. And I think that speaks directly to the decrease in confidence levels that the CEOs have for that particular economy as we go forward. Having said that, they're still growing pretty nicely, and I think many economies around the world would like to have that growth rate. So you have to put everything in context. You have to have that starting point. I am one who has always believed in India. I think it's got an incredibly bright future. When I think about the population, I think about demographics, education, language, all of those factors. So I, for one, believe. I think there is a euphoria with the new government. I think there are incredibly high expectations that the new government is going to get onto the reform agenda. I think most are very optimistic that he will. I think this upcoming budget is going to be a very interesting test of that. And I, for one, am hopeful that the reforms that have been talked about will actually begin to get implemented, executed, over the next several months.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.